From Abergele to Prestatyn, Rhyl to Denbigh, this is Sound Radio 103.1.
But I've been joined in the studio. I've got a guest, finally, the first of the year. It's been a topsy-turvy year for me. I've been in and out, COVID, back to the studio, but I'm fine. I'll just let you know I am fine, Kathy, okay? I tested negative twice. That's allowed. Good afternoon, Kathy. You've come in from Book of You.
Yeah. Hi, Craig. Yeah, back again. We just worked out it was 2018.
Yeah.
We were last here, which is a while ago.
3 years ago since we last spoke.
Yeah.
At our old studios in Kibble Bay.
Yeah, that's right.
And you came in that time to talk about Book of You, which is like an online sort of digital platform for creating memories and stories, basically.
That's it. Yeah.
How's that going? Is that still running things?
Yeah, we've been going just over 11 years now. And when we came in last time, we just had the pretty standard web app, which we've still got, which works great. That works for most people. But we're just about to launch a new native app as well, which people will be able to get from Google Play in the App Store, which is a slightly different variation on it. And a little bit further in the future, we've got another sort of side to that one as well. So we've got loads of ideas, which I won't talk about yet because we're still in the planning stages, but just to bring more to Book of You, really. So listening to what our customers, what our clients have said, and just giving them what they want.
I think last time we spoke, it's to do with helping sort of people with dementia and things, and unlocking those sort of stories from the past. So you take pictures and things, you can upload pictures. I think we mentioned songs and videos and things from YouTube. So it was just a case of collating sort of like a big collage of things, wasn't it? And then so people could just jog people's memories back and take them back to the days maybe they need want to remember again and bring back happy memories, I guess. Yeah,
that's it. And we still do work with people with dementia. But what's happened since then is we've expanded because everybody wants to do a similar thing. So we work with young adults with a learning disability. We've worked with veterans. We work with older people who haven't got dementia but just want to put their life down to give to their grandchildren. And one of the things I'm going to talk about a little later on is a brand new project, something really exciting and new to us, working with Syrian refugees in the area as well.
Okay, so this has all been sort of funded as well. It's
yes. These are two funded projects. So in this area, so I thought it's worth coming along to talk about them. So the first one I want to mention, because this is a public one, so anybody who wants to come along to this one is welcome. And it's a new, relatively new thing for us. It's called a community book. So the last time we came in, we were talking about the personal books that we did, people's life story. So what we do with a community book is people come along from the community, get together and share their memories of a town or something like that, and put it together and share their memories. So it's not like a history book with sort of facts, just what people remember. And, do you remember who had this shop here, that sort of thing, or what it was like when we had the May Queen. We've done quite a lot of these books now. We started doing community books just before lockdown. And we carried on doing them during lockdown. So we did them on Zoom.
Right. I was just going to say, how did you get on sort of lockdown things?
Yeah, you know what? We were quite well placed as a techie business to just sort of move online. Obviously, some people weren't comfortable with that, but interestingly we did bring other people along who perhaps wouldn't have come. So just for example, we did a community book in Ruthin, and a gentleman used to come along who had moved away. I think he was in Northampton. Now he would never have been able to come to one if we were there in Ruthin every week, but he could come, and he was seeing friends he hadn't seen for 20 years. So it's got benefits both ways. And we're doing one currently in Rwabon. We're doing 3 books in Rwabon, and we're doing a mix between Zoom and face-to-face because people are finding the ones that suit them. So it's working very well. But the Prestatyn one is all face-to-face. Right. So it's at the Town Council building in Prestatyn. That's at 7 Nant Hall Road, just next to the shopping place. Of course, and that is at, every week. Do you know what? I haven't written what the time was down now. I'll have to look it up and then tell you. But yeah, that's every week. And people can come along, bring photographs, just bring their memories. Or, we've said to people, if they perhaps have moved to Prestatyn recently and they just want to find out a little bit more and just have that social aspect, they can do that as well. There's going to be 3 books. We've already started one. We're on week 3 this week. for the general town history. Then we're going to do one on the history of the men's shed, which is just around the corner from them, because that's a really interesting building and with a lot of history to it. And then the third one we're leaving open to see what ideas people have, if anybody decides what they would like the third book to be about. So yeah, that one's really exciting. So I will have a look in a minute and look and see what it is to invite people. But everybody's welcome. It's all socially distanced, so everybody can sit. We've got a really spacious room with the people don't have to worry. But even if people don't want to come along, get in touch with us, because sometimes people either don't want to come or they can't come for whatever reason, and they can still participate in the making of the book. So yeah, it's really interesting. People can look on the website and see what these type of books are like. Actually, we've got a few examples on there.
Okay, how does it work? Because you say obviously people are going to come to you, and they're going to bring pictures and stuff. Are you going to sort of record them, like audio, visual, or is it?
Yeah,
okay.
That's it. So we have a sort of an editor, if you want to call it that. So Sue Wright, who is one of our associate members of staff, she basically collects all the stories and information, or photographs or whatever, and then she at home will put them all into the book and then bring them along next week and can show people what we've got. So I guess for the first few weeks it looks a bit like a scrapbook and there's all bits and pieces here and there, and then over time it just begins to get a little bit what you'd expect really from a history book. But it's been really, really interesting. It's sort of slow to start. Often these things, people are not sure whether they should come along or that sort of stuff. But we must say, if you've missed the first couple of weeks, just still feel free to come along, because it's fantastic. I'm not sure, we've got a lot of pages in there. I think over 30 pages already. We've only done 2 weeks.
Wow.
So we're
I love stuff like that.
It is fascinating. I'm really interested.
I grew up in Rill, but some of my family come from Prestatyn, so it would be interesting to me as well. But just find out little pockets of information that you didn't know, and it's just something to pass on. And there's a lot of sort of Facebook groups do the same thing. People are always putting pictures on. And
it's similar to that, I guess, really. So rather than the fact, it's people going, do you remember this? And that sort of thing. And if you're interested in Rill, we've not long finished a Rill community book, which will be going live on our website soon. So you'll have to check that one out as well. That was really popular and very, very interesting.
I'll have to have a look at that. So the plan is you get people in, you record these videos, audio, and collect pictures and things they bring in. Yeah. And then it all goes online for people to access. It will be. These are public. So unlike the personal books, which we talked about last time, and that we still do, these are publicly viewable. And we make this clear to people. So they must understand that whatever they're talking about, their town, will be viewable by someone else. It might not have their name underneath, but it's something that everybody will be able to see. And the nice thing about a digital book is there's no sort of end. If we were to print a book about Prestatyn, it's finished. And then if someone comes along and goes, but you haven't mentioned about this, we can't do anything. You can add and add. I guess that's
even
the
once
beauty of
it's gone live, we can add to it. So it's really, it's just a sort of a living book, we've usually called it, something that grows and with all sorts of people. And, we tend to, people will say, oh, there's a local historian. And I'll be honest, we tend to invite the historians a little later on because they are much more interested in the facts. So once they can see what the book's like in terms of local memories, then they can add their little bits here and there. But we don't get too hung up on particular years or months or things like that. It's just memories stories, and emotional memories, things like that. Yeah. And
you'll have so many people with different stories, because obviously, like you said earlier, you'll have people that have just recently moved to the area and don't know much about the area, but they've still got stories because they've lived here. And then there's people that probably lived in the Prestatyn 70 odd years possibly, or all their life, grew up there.
Such a difference.
People
who've
that
just
lived
gone
there,
on holiday,
moved away and come back. Yeah,
because even I was sitting there, and I mean, I'm from the Wirral originally. I came on holiday I remembered it, Cooks. It was called Cooks. And at this meeting, I said, does anybody remember there was a Cooks? And this lady who was there said, oh, yeah, I used to work there. It was Thomas Cooks. Right. So when I was about 8, I used to go on holiday there. So she brought some pictures in the next week. So I was really... So it's that sort of conversational, social, very, very sort of relaxed sort of thing. You don't have to worry. And if nobody speaks, if nobody wants to speak, they just want to listen, that's fine.
Is there tea and biscuits?
Well, yes, there is a little...
It's always a puller, that's all. People think, it's a free biscuit.
Yeah, there are.
Do
you know what? I don't think we brought biscuits so far. We need to do that. We're getting back in the habit. But
I guess it's difficult with social distancing.
Well,
what you can put down on plates now.
I'll bring biscuits this week. But yes, there is tea and coffee and water there. So yeah, if people want to just come along and just socialise, and that's absolutely fine as well. Yeah.
Excellent. Do you want to briefly talk about the Syrian one?
Yeah, the Syrian one's something a little bit different. Now, this isn't open to the public because this is something new that has come out of another conversation I was having. And basically it's part of the Denbighshire UK Resettlement Group, or DUKRG in short.
Okay.
And this is a group of Syrian refugees, and there may be some Afghan refugees as well joining in. And we decided to start a book just as an experiment with these people. And we're going to sort of split it into 3 bits, so past, present and future. So that will be their cultural heritage and identity, first of all. So where have they come from, you know, that sort of thing. Then we're going to move on to their lived experience in Denbighshire and how they're connecting with the wider community. And then the final bit will be about their hopes and aspirations for the future. They've been very keen to engage with the community at large, you know, the people in Rhyl and the surrounding areas. And it's quite hard to do, especially over lockdown.
Yeah.
So this is giving them the opportunity really to tell their story.
Yeah.
Now, another exciting bit, it's not just that we're working with refugees, but we're also going to be involving, because this is part of a group that's already running, a social group for these people. They bring their children along as well. And we thought, what are we going to do about that, you know, because, you know, but we're actually got a lady who's going to be doing art projects with them based on the same topics.
With the children?
With the children.
That's a good
so
idea.
They're going to be given themes, and they can create art that we can put into the book as well. So whether that's photographed or filmed.
Yeah.
So it's really exciting because it is quite out there. You know.
I guess it opens doors to the community. But maybe people are a bit sort of don't know people from Syria, and they're a bit sort of, and then to read their story and learn where they've come from, their background and things, and how much it's different from where they did to move to the likes of Rhyl, Prestatyn, this area, and that'll be all archived. It'll be fantastic,
won't it? And I think for everyone to understand then what they've come from and you know what they want to do. So that again is going to be like the other books. It's going to be 6 sessions, so 6 weekly sessions for them. Using all the different types of media. And from what I believe, they're really excited about this. And normally when we go along to do community books or even personal books, it takes a little bit of time for people to open up. Right, but apparently we're not going to have this problem. They'll be queuing up to tell us things. They love this. They love this sort of thing. They're really keen to do it. So that will be great. We will have, I think, if I remember rightly, there's 4 or 5 different languages spoken by these people.
Really?
None of which I can speak or Sue can speak, but we will have a translator or 2 there who will be able to support it. So it is going to be, it's exciting on one hand, but it's also a little bit terrifying because you're thinking, how are we going to manage this and how are we going to do it? But we won't know till we start, and that's going to start in March and will be really interesting. And so we've basically said we'll go for the first week, we'll see how that goes and go from there. But and then when that's finished, there will be an event where they will make the book public and we'll be able to show people what they've created, which will be fabulous.
Fantastic. I love the thought of just collecting memories and stuff and stories, and just to pass down through the generations to learn. And certainly the Prestatyn one, it's just to pass down. Yeah. And it's all like you said, it can just grow and grow and grow. It's not just a closed book. That's it. There's the book. It's still in. You can still keep adding stuff to it the next 10 years. And other age groups and things. So no, it's exciting.
Brilliant thing. Yeah, that can be shared. So yeah.
If people want to find out sort of a bit more about you, where's the best place to look? And
they can go and have a look on our website to find out a bit more about what we do. So that's www.bookofyou.co.uk. We also have a Facebook and Twitter page, and Instagram now we've actually got. So there's those 3. But if you go onto the website itself, the buttons are at the top for those. That's probably the easiest way to find the social media as well. You can just click on those. Then underneath the social media buttons, we've got a couple of examples of community books and also a personal book. So if people want to find out a bit more about what these books actually look like, then there's examples on the website there. That's probably the easiest way. And then if people want to get in touch, if they want to come along to the Prestatyn Community Book, there is a contact button on there. So they can do it all through the website. Just click on that and get in touch with us.
Excellent, and we'll put all those details on our website as well.
That would be great, yeah.
To listen again, why not? So that's how it works. We archive everything now. So in the future, in 3 years' time, we could say, oh, yeah, that was when we did that interview, like we found out.
That would be a lot easier, yeah.
Thank you for coming in. It sounds like a very exciting project you're doing, and I hope people do get involved in things, and we'll do our very best to make sure everybody knows about it.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, Kathy.
Thank you.
The big sound of North Wales. Sound Radio.